Example 3. A flagpole casts a shadow that is 50 feet long. At the same time, a woman standing nearby who is 5 feet 4 inches tall casts a shadow that is 40 inches long. How tall is the flagpole to the nearest foot? So I'm going to start with a picture. We have a flagpole. It tells us that our flagpole is 50 feet, and then it casts a shadow. At the same time, a woman who is standing nearby is 5 feet 4 inches, and she casts a shadow that is 40 inches. And then it wants to know how tall is the flagpole to the nearest foot, which tells me I just screwed up. The flagpole is not 50 feet tall. The shadow is 50 feet. Sorry about that. And we have to find how tall the flagpole is to the nearest foot. In order to do this, I know I have two right angles. If we have the sun shining down, it's going to create a triangle, and these are going to be similar triangles. So in order to do this, I'm going to use a proportion. Now the problem is that this is in feet and inches, this is in inches, and this is in feet. So we have to convert everything, and I'm going to choose to convert everything into inches. Keep in mind that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So for my 50 feet, I'm going to take 50 times 12, which gets me 600 inches. And then if I take 5 feet times 12, that's 60, plus the 4, this is going to be 64 inches. Then I'm going to set up my proportion, and I'm going to do x corresponds to 64, and then 600 corresponds to 40. If we cross multiply, that's going to get me 40x equals 600 times 64, which is 38,400. Then we divide both sides by 40. So x equals 960, but keep in mind this is all in inches. So if they want us to do the flagpole to the nearest foot, we then have to divide that by 12, which is going to get us x equals 80 feet, and there's actually no decimal on that. So if we round it to the nearest foot, we know that the flagpole is 80 feet tall. Example 4 says a child who is 58 inches tall is standing next to the woman in the previous example. So keep in mind from the previous example, we had our woman who was 5 feet 4 inches, which we said was 64 inches tall, and she casts a shadow that was 40 inches long. Now, next to her is now a child. And it says that the child is 58 inches tall, and it wants to know how long is the child's shadow. So same idea as before, this time everything is in inches. I have 64 inches, which is the height of the woman, that corresponds to 58 inches, which is the height of the child, and then 40 inches, which is the length of the shadow, which corresponds to x inches, which is the length of the child's shadow. I'm going to cross multiply again. So 64x equals 40 times 58, which is 2,320. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 64. So x equals 36.25. Now again, keep in mind this is in inches, and in the previous problem it asked us to round to the nearest foot. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to divide by 12, which is going to get us 3.02. And if we round to the nearest foot, that's going to get us that the length of the child's shadow is 3 feet.